Okay, my fiction name is Lenny Baptiste, and my Indian name is Inkiamchin, and it means gathering of the voices. That's my name. We're the Silks people from the Okanagan Valley here. I have 3 sisters, 5 brothers. 2 have passed on, so there's 3 and 3 left. And yeah, that's my family. Okay, what else
Tell me about your parents.
My parents? Well, both my mom and dad are residential school survivors. They went to residential school, and they're very strong individuals. They're very spiritual too in our cultural ways. And there's a lot of things that happen in these residential schools that change the whole system of our native way. And it's like a lot of us are lost. You know, they don't know who they are. They're basically lost. That's about it for that. Starting back from residential school, of all the abuses and stuff like that, and made me what I was in the beginning a very hard, mean, distant person. Nobody could get near me. When I first met my wife, she said I had a heart of stone, and I didn't know what she was talking about, but she couldn't get near me. She couldn't get in, and it was years and years that she was the one that actually opened me up. But going back to all the abuses in residential school, you know, the sexual abuse and all the beatings and, you know, all that stuff like that happened to me and to other people. Like when I got out of residential school, like I couldn't speak, I couldn't talk. I had this stutter that I had for till the year 2000. Like I couldn't speak, and I would stutter all the time. I still have a little faint bit of it now, but it's getting better. But that's what set my life was the sexual abuse and all that happening in residential school. I was there for 8 years, and it actually made me who I am now. You know, this a spiritual road that I've been on for the last 35 years. You know, searching and trying to find that peace, and jumping from religion to religion, and nothing really helped. And what started me out was Eastern philosophies and ways and the martial arts. I got into the martial arts when I was 19, and so that's probably 36 or 37 years now I've been in the martial arts. But when I first started, like, I was still doing drugs and alcohol, and I wanted to fight better, you know, hurt people, and I wanted to be the best fighter, I guess. And I got into it all for the wrong reasons. But 5 years in the martial arts, it changes you, slowly, and that was the start of my learning and my beginning of my spiritual walk, nativeness. I had this so much hatred in me that when I was young, when I was being abused in residential school and stuff like that, I actually faced that person when things were happening to me. I just look at them, and it was like a blank, or I don't know what it was, but I never had any emotion or anything like that. I just looked at them, and I thought to myself in my mind, I'm going to get you one day. I'm going to find you, and I'm going to get you, and I'm going to hurt you, probably kill you, and as I was growing up, I would go from town to town. I've been to Mexico, I've been all over the place, and every town I would go to, I would look in the phone book. I would look for these names, and no names. Every town, until about probably 15 to 17 years ago, I went to a healing gathering on residential school, and it was one of the first ones they were starting to have. And I went to this town, and I looked in the book. There was his name, and my buddy was with me, and the same thing happened to him with the same person, and we were looking at this name, and we were just wild, and I said, well, we got to phone this guy. And so I phoned, and a woman answered, and I said, is this a so-and-so? He used to work here, and she says, yeah, that's him. I says, oh, I said, I want to see this guy. And she said, who are you? And I said my name, and there was a silence. There was a silence. I can never forget this. There was a silence, and she says, yeah, he's been waiting for you. He's been waiting for you. And I was like, whoa. And anyway, I asked her, is it all right for me to come over there? And she said, yeah, you're welcome to come over. And I thought, this is strange, because the first thing you're going to do is you're going to call the cops. Anyway, I went in over there, knocked on the door, knocked on the address, and this woman appeared. And I was like, whoa. And I thought I was at the wrong house, because this woman was there, and on the back living room there was two pictures of graduation pictures of two native kids, and this was a native woman. And I thought, this couldn't be right, because it's a white guy, and I thought, this isn't, like, it's got to be some sort of mistake. And she said, no, this is him, this is his house. And I thought, oh no. So your thought pattern starts to change, because you're dealing with your people, so it there was a lot of anger in there. And we got there about 3 o'clock, and he was going to be back about 6 o'clock. and she told me his story. What happened to him was he kept seeing my face, and the look on my face, and he said it drove him down. He ended up in a psych ward, and he knew that one day that I would look for him, and I would find him, and when you're in that state, you know, my thing was I was going to kill this guy, you know, and so everything had changed, and I thought, well, now, and I had to hold down my buddy. I had to talk him down because he was worse off than I was, you know, and I said, let's hear this guy's story. So he got back, and this was this frail older man, and he was shaking and everything like that, and he knew we were coming, and he walked in, and I looked at him, and he sat down. We started to talk, and he asked me to forgive him, and I said, like, all this energy was in me, all this bad energy, and I said, well, I can't do that. I can't forgive you. To me, forgiving is like you let it go and you forget about it. It's gone, but it's always going to be there. So I couldn't forgive him. And I said, obviously you've worked through it. You're okay now, but it's all on me. So I said, there's nothing I can do about it, but I guess I got to work on myself. And it was one of the hardest things that I had to do in my life was to try and let that go, you know. So I went looking for help, and I finally got it through a person who worked with people, a medicine person who, you know, again, they asked me if I could forgive that person. I said, no, I can't. You can't forgive. You know, they say, like in the Bible and everything like that, you know, you forgive, but it's not like that when things happen in your life. You can't do it. And I said, well, let's look for another way. And we looked, and she finally come up with this. Can you give him a pardon? And I said, well, explain me what a pardon is, you know. And she explained me what a pardon was, and I thought, well, I can do that, you know. So in my mind and my heart, like, I give this guy a pardon. And it was like the minute I done that, I could speak. And it was amazing. It's what they call a miracle in some, you know, but I could speak. Like, it was gone, you know, that hurt, that pain was gone, and I could actually speak the way I am speaking now. Before, I was, you know, my knees were going like this, and I was, you know, I couldn't speak, so it was always anger that was coming out, and I would speak with my fists, you know.